Denis Villeneuve's tension-filled action masterpiece Sicario offers a meticulously executed commentary on the dehumanizing effects of the war on drugs. Despite its initial noble intentions, the war on drugs emerges as a flailing attempt to reclaim a moral high ground, leaving a trail of innocent casualties in its wake. Many viewers may regard Sicario primarily as a gripping action film with a somewhat underwhelming conclusion, not quite delivering the anticipated punch some might feel the film deserves. This perception often arises due to a misinterpretation of who the true protagonist is, and this analysis aims to shed light on why a second viewing of Sicario is warranted and how the concept of duality confirms Alejandro as the film's central character. The film opens with the introduction of Kate Macer, a former attorney who is currently working as an FBI agent. She embarks on a journey from a state of relative naivety to an immersive first-hand experience in the world of drug wars.
What the fuck are we doing?
As we accompany Kate throughout the film, we too witness the visceral and harrowing realities of this dark, complex world. Kate is motivated and possesses a strong moral compass that fuels her determination in her role within the task force. Her commitment to her duties is at times so unyielding that she even neglects personal hygiene, a fact pointed out by her colleague Reggie Wayne.
But I think the broad situation is the least of your problems.
Okay.
Because you look like shit. You do, you look like shit. Everybody in the team's talking about it.
Nonetheless, Kate is far from oblivious to the intricate web of motivations and suspicions that shroud her colleagues. As an FBI special agent working alongside the less experienced Reggie Wayne, her responsibilities in the Chandler, Arizona region are far from simple. The opening scene of the movie presents a gruesome discovery, causing some team members to recoil in disgust.
Whoa. What the fuck?
This macabre tableau, among countless others, is Kate's initiation into a world of brutality and chaos, and we as the audience share her first-hand experiences. Kate's decision to join an FBI team focused on locating and dismantling a powerful drug cartel arises from her unwavering commitment to the principles of justice and retribution. Her drive to take down those responsible for heinous acts of violence and devastation underlines her character. She steadfastly believes in doing things by the book,
You did this by the book, right?
Come on, of course.
a trait continuously referenced in the film, casting her initially as the protagonist and a beacon of morality. On the other hand, Alejandro, introduced early in the film, is a character consistently placed at the forefront of the narrative. A former tax inspector and prosecutor in Juarez, Mexico, Alejandro's transformation into a Sicario or assassin is driven by the brutal murder of his wife and daughter, a detail only revealed toward the film's climax. As Kate delves deeper into the mission, she becomes increasingly apprehensive about Alejandro, and her suspicion mirrors the audience's own doubt about his true allegiances.
Where were you sent from?
Cartagena.
Colombia.
Whether that is to the task force or to the cartel.
Is he CIA? Are you?
He's a DOD advisor just like me.
No, he's not.
But just pay attention to Alejandro, and if he says do something, just do it.
I'm not authorized to follow orders from Alejandro, especially in Mexico.
Fine.
The perception of Kate as the true protagonist began to shift for me as I sided with her during an interaction with Matt near the end of the film. This conversation reveals Alejandro as a man marked by a traumatic past.
So he can get the person that cut off his wife's head and threw his daughter into a vat of acid.
Driven by an unwavering commitment to bring those responsible for the criminal acts and ruthless murders that tore his family from him to justice, even if it requires morally questionable actions. Kate, however, adamantly insists on exposing Matt for collaborating with Alejandro, whom she believes is working undercover with the cartel.
Alejandro works for the fucking Colombian cartel. He works for the competition.
Alejandro.
This, however, is not the case at all. Alejandro is just doing what he needs to do to get the guys in charge, and Matt is running a tough, dangerous operation. Kate's determination to adhere to her strict moral compass results in her feeling ineffective and disillusioned by the end of the film, as events do not unfold according to her ideals.
It's okay.
The initial mission was to take down Manuel Diaz and Faustar Alarcon, heads of the cartel. By the film's conclusion, both have been eliminated and the mission has been accomplished. Yet the film seems unfulfilling when viewed from Kate's perspective. The missing piece of this puzzle is the concept of duality. Good isn't always right, and sometimes you need to do bad to do good. As Carl Jung, a Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst, once stated, "No tree, it is said, can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell." Duality states that everything has two sides, where good is essential for bad to exist, and removing good inevitably leads to a new definition of bad based on the best and worst of the good. The film gradually exposes Kate's naivety in the world of drug wars and her rigid definition of good and bad. In contrast, Alejandro's character development is fueled by an inciting incident, the brutal murder of his family. This tragedy becomes his driving force, leading him to carry out morally ambiguous acts in pursuit of justice. Once we discover Alejandro's family was killed by the cartel, we realize that Kate's only purpose in this film is to allow us to discover that this was Alejandro's story all along. Let's break it down. We know that general 3-act structure works like this: inciting incident, confrontation or build, and the resolution. And generally in screenwriting, you have a main character that you follow throughout the story. So at the beginning, something happens to your main character. This causes them to have reason enough to justify the goal they reach at the end of the film, during the resolution. But Kate has no inciting incident. She's merely doing her job when she signs up to join the task force and help take down the drug cartel. She's doing it because she's a good person and believes in justice and retribution. She was impacted by the opening scene, sure, but she has no real motive or real reason to join this crew besides the fact that she wants justice served on a silver platter. Kate's character remains static throughout the film, ending much as she began, adhering to her unwavering moral code. The moment when Kate hesitates to shoot Alejandro towards the film's conclusion symbolizes her unaltered character and her commitment to what she perceives as right. Alejandro, in contrast, experiences a significant arc. He fulfills the mission's objectives and achieves his personal resolution by eliminating Faustar Alarcon and his family. Denis Villeneuve's genius lies in the narrative structure, allowing the audience to discover the story of Alejandro through Kate's perspective. This approach creates suspense and enables the audience to form opinions about Alejandro in the same way Kate does. Eventually, we come to realize that Kate is not the true hero of the story, but a character who consistently challenges the mission due to her strict adherence to a particular moral code. Despite her initial alignment with good, Kate's actions are often misguided, causing disruptions in the operation, as exemplified by the bank robbery scene that ends up with her getting assaulted.
What is it? What? Stop. 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 What the fuck? What? Stop it! What the fuck? Ah!
This, in my analysis, makes her the true antagonist. In conclusion, Sicario offers a thought-provoking exploration of perspective through the lens of duality, depicting the interplay between good and bad and how one cannot exist without the other. The film defies conventional expectations by shifting the narrative's focus from the apparent protagonist Kate to Alejandro, revealing a nuanced and emotionally charged story. Sicario challenges viewers to reevaluate their understanding of morality and justice, making it a film that lingers in the mind long after the credits roll. Regardless of whether you've seen the film before, I strongly recommend seeing this film again to really appreciate its complex narrative and themes fully.
Is there anything I should know?
You're asking me how a watch works. For now, let's just keep an eye on the time.